Thank you so much. I'm Alex Kingsley. Before I start, I just want to let you all know that I have a play coming up. I wrote a magical realist comedy called The Dreamless Patron, and it has been accepted to Rhino Fest. Thank you. So that will be at Chicago Dramatists May 30th through June 2nd. So please come to that if you have a chance. The story I'm going to read is a piece of flash fiction, so very short. I changed what I was going to read last minute because this just got accepted as a reprint to a literary magazine yesterday.
Oh,
So you can look for this in Road Less Traveled magazine. It's a new one, but it was originally published in an anthology of short stories by writers in Madrid. All right, this is 3-Inch Grave. It used to be a salmon cannery, from back when there was salmon. Now it cans something different. When I first started working there, it still smelled a bit like fish. That smell has given way to something else. When people ask, I tell them it's that pungent formaldehyde odor, but in actuality, it is earthy and cloying and sickly sweet. It's not like people often ask. It's an unpleasant subject, and I don't spend much time with living people. But when they do, they ask me why I took the job at the cannery. Doesn't it make you sad? They ask. Isn't it disturbing? I tell them that it wasn't my first choice, but you get used to it. Both are lies. I chose to work at the cannery, and you do not get used to it. But I make sure to follow up those lies with a truth. I do it because I know it is important work. As far as we can track back human history, people have found a way to honor the dead. It's ingrained in us somehow. And now that this earth has seen generation after generation of humans, and our cemeteries and our mausoleums are full, people still have to go somewhere. Everyone wants to know that they have a guaranteed final resting place. Many cannot afford to become the roots of a tree or shot into space. These days, most cannot even afford to have their remains burned. I am helping to provide a guaranteed free alternative. At the very least, you know that you will sit on a shelf among the cans of your fellow man. I have been to the warehouse many times, and it looks like a grocery store that's always stocked, but no one ever comes to make a purchase. And of course, the can labels bear no brands, only names, dates, and a 140-character epitaph. I often do not mention that the shelves are filling up, and soon even canning will have a cost. That's the real reason I took the job. I have a guaranteed spot on the shelf, with my name and birth date already adorning the spot. Expiration date, TBD. And sometimes, when I get off work, when I've spent a day watching the faces of strangers pass by on the conveyor belt, strangers that I'm about to grind up into a paste and use a measuring cup to fill a tin small enough to fit their allotted 3-square-inch plot, I go to the warehouse. The cans glimmer in the fluorescent light like so many stars in perfect alignment. I find my spot. I sit there on the cement floor, and I imagine that I am practicing for the day I am to be permanently placed on that shelf. I think of it as introducing myself to my future roommates. I sit there, and I know that I'm one of the lucky ones who will get a little space on this earth after I've departed. It's 3 square inches, but it's enough for me. Thank you. Thank you so much.